And you, KD, clown, like you gave up Steph Curry for the most untrustworthy, mercurial, ill-informed, immature, great ball handler, great scorer player in the league, and you gave up a real team, a professional organization for this guy. You deserve to be out in the first round. You deserve to be playing with this guy with no teammates because y'all got all the money, got no teammates, and then you got no real coach. And you knew that. You're playing ISO ball. And Kyrie's like, well, we don't need no coach. Okay, well, the Celtics know exactly what you're going to do. They lock you down defensively because you have no sets. You have no game. But Kyrie's like, well, we can just coach ourselves because we're great players. Okay, fine, Kyrie, fine. But then you don't even show up half the year because you don't even get vaccinated, but you want to coach the team and you don't want to get vaccinated and you don't want to do what the team wants to do. Fine. They get blown out in the first round every year. Fine. This is what you get. That's what you get. Yeah. All right. Now we're here. Spontaneous, like.
Spontaneous.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were gonna be here. We met up in a bar. It's been 20 years. I haven't seen you.
Yeah, but why are we? That's why I don't. We got to kind of see because I would have like a tracker. Bing, bing, bing. These are things that we're going to give our great insight to. You like to just make it like we're at the barbershop.
So, like I said, bro, we can try that and then we can see.
We'll see what happens.
Works. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. But it's been a week.
We got some talking points, though.
It's been a week. Hey, hush up, doggy. So that's the dog. It's been a week, bro. It's been a week. Some exhilarating NBA.
Oh.
My Yankees are in first place. You a big baseball guy?
Oh, I'm a huge baseball guy. No, I'm not.
Stop it, Max.
Not at all. Not at all.
So the Yankees are in first place. That's Max barking, everyone. Sorry about that. Let me just give him a little kick here. Knock it off.
Wait. Did you say give the dog a little kick, Michael?
It's not real. It's not a real kick. It's a loving nudge with my toe. See, he's still alive, guys. I didn't kill him. Stop. Go over there.
Sound like a cry for help, yeah.
Go bother Inez. So my Yankees are in first place. We had some thrilling NBA. We got NBA finals, sort of conference finals coming up this week. Got a game, basically one game every night now, which is the beauty of it. And then we've got some tragic things that happened this week that we can certainly chat about. But I'll let you kind of jump off. So Dwayne, where do you want to kind of kick us off first?
Well, let's go over our weekends real quick.
Okay. My weekend was great. I'm just going to jump in and be real selfish and take the stage here really quick. My weekend was great. Watched a lot of sports. I watched some Yankee games, watched a lot of NBA, smoked a bomb cigar. On Saturday, sat outside. Sunday, went to church. Yeah, I didn't really do anything. Didn't really spend much money, which is always a great weekend for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that was very much it. Just watched a lot of sports, smoked a cigar, had a little whiskey with that cigar. It was awesome. How about yourself?
Okay, so my weekend was okay. As you can tell, my voice sounds like crap.
Yes. Crap is a
yeah, word. I'm getting over. I don't know what this thing is.
Okay.
I thought it was COVID at first, but
third time COVID, huh? Jeez.
Yeah, I was thinking, but I'm like, hold up, I'm supposed to be immunized. I had COVID twice.
Sorry, Aaron Rodgers, you're not immunized, but go ahead, keep going.
I thought I was immunized by this, But no, so it came out negative.
Okay.
So it wasn't COVID, but it's been something that's lingering in my chest or whatever. So it is what it is. I feel fine. It's just that my voice sounds like shit. But
it does. Yeah. So I'll get to do all the talking this week, which is the sound of my own voice is definitely
nothing new, John.
Yeah, basically. I mean, the sound of my own voice is something I enjoy very much. So, I'll just, I'll take it for the team. I'll be a team player. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better for sure. You could definitely have some of that goat tea or whatever tea or golden milk.
Milk,
yes.
Turmeric,
a little honey.
Cinnamon, black sugar. It's important to have for everybody. Yes.
You sound like you need to guzzle like a whole bottle of honey is what you need to do, bruh. Get that throat lubricated.
I don't like lubricating stuff in my throat. I'm not like you.
What you
Feel
mean?
comfortable for
What
me.
you mean? What you mean you don't like lubricate? Hey, I'm secure. I'm secure myself, bro. Everybody know my wife know what I like. You know what I'm
TMI, bro.
saying?
TMI. But, yeah, man. So I do want to start off
Yes,
by
sir.
talking about specifically Kevin Booker. Not I said Kevin Booker. Remember Kevin Booker?
I do remember Kevin Booker. He's
But I'm
like
talking
a
about, yeah, what is he? A congressman, all right?
he's like in something. I always see his stuff on a salute to you, Kevin Booker. I always see him on Facebook doing his like going to like the local places in his town. I think he's like a councilman or something. Whatever. It's cool.
The power of code switching. You see, sometime when I get on the phone and I talk to some of my friends, people are real close to me. For example, I'm on the phone with one of my friends. Yo, what's good? What's going on, man? What's going on? How you doing today, man? Yeah, hello. How are you doing today? The analysis of this particular situation at this moment in time will be great for this particular project we're working on. It's important for us to master code switching so that we can move forward and navigate through areas that people wouldn't expect us to be in. So you never give people what they expect of you. You give them what they least expect of you. That's the power of code switching. That's something that we have to master as black men. Thank you.
All right, shouts out to Kevin Booker. We went to school with that man. I'm talking about Devin Booker, who we never went to school with.
Devin Booker. We surely never did. No, sir.
And Chris Paul.
Yeah.
What a worst moment ever to have one of those games, bro. That's one of those days. A game 7 in the what were they, the semi-conference? No, what was it?
This was the middle, the second round is what I would just say. Semifinals, second round.
Semifinal, yes.
Yeah, they choked.
Yes.
I mean, they choked. I mean, talk about lubrication. They probably could have used something, and they choked, bro. I mean, what more can you say? I sent you guys that meme with Luka smiling at him. I mean, he's had 27 points. The team had 27 points in the first half.
Yes.
I mean, how does that happen? I text this to the group too, Dwayne. Like I've been watching the NBA 30, 35 years. I mean, we used to watch those thrilling Knick Heat battles from like the late 90s or 2000s where the final score was like 65-72 and like Alonzo Mourning and somebody would get into some fist fight, right? But they were trying hard. Like nobody scored. It was all defense. It was horrible, but like it was all but like even out of those years, I don't think I've ever seen in the history of my NBA watching games a more inept first half of a professional basketball team. It was horrific. They put basketball back 10 years.
So one thing that I didn't notice watching this game is a lack of effort from the Suns. It really seemed like anything that they tried, Dallas was just a step quicker, a step faster, like a step more well planned. Like everything was going against Phoenix Suns. I don't know.
I mean, sure. I think that, and shots have to fall too, right? But like, we watched Chris Paul age right before our eyes, right? There's like certain athletes when they hit a certain age, like everyone can't be Tom Brady, right? There's certain athletes when they hit a certain age, they just sort of like hit a wall. And I think Chris Paul actually had a birthday. Yeah, May 6th was his birthday. He turned 37. After he hit 37, his game, like, it just completely fell apart, yo. And listen, 37 again. You're gonna say don't say that because we're older than 37. I get it. 37 in regular life is very young. He is a young man. In sports, though, in the NBA, with these kids, when you've got these, Luka who can shoot from any part of the floor, there's Ja Morant who's in his early 20s and his body's just invincible and he can just fly through the air. You hit 37 in the NBA with these freak athletes, they're gonna age you out, bro. It's not about you being great and it just seemed like he just couldn't hit an open shot. It was horrible. This point guard needs to go away. I think Chris Paul, he says he's going to come back next year. But, I mean, this is 2 chokes. This dude, they was up 2-0 last year in the finals. Got swept 4-0 to lose the finals last year. And then this year, it just was bad. To lose that way they did at home in a Game 7 is legacy defining and not in a good way.
And we're going to blame Chris Paul.
Yes,
who shot 50% in this game.
How many points he scored?
Maybe 8, maybe 10.
Let's go to the trusty box score. Go ahead.
But as I'm speaking, he shot 50% in this game. And Devin Booker, who at one moment scored 70 points in the game, 80 points in the game.
He might have. He got Kardashian curse because
whatever happened.
She broke up with him.
Whatever happened, I'm not going to put it on 37-year-old Chris Paul, because if they would have won that game, nobody would be having that conversation.
Oh God, look at this! Look at this box score, dude.
Please tell me.
CP3, 10 points on a Game 7. Devin Booker.
Wait, no. But how many shots did he take?
All right, I got to get deeper. Hang on, but we'll get to that. Devin Booker, 37 minutes, 11 points. Jay Crowder, the do everything guy, 5 points, 27 minutes. Mikal Bridges, 6 points.
Oh,
I mean, just horrible, dude. Devin Booker, sure, you get, Devin Booker, you're gonna get a lot of issues too. Like, come on, buddy, at home on a Game 7, like,
yes.
When are you gonna get that opportunity? Just complete meltdown. And
what are the field goal attempts to make?
All right, so here we go. You ready? I got it here. NBA.com. Chris Paul. Okay, he was 50. He was 4 from 8 from the field. So you're right. He was 50%. 4 from 8 from the field.
37, 50%.
50%. Devin Booker.
Scoring.
3 of 14, dude. 21.4% from the floor. Crowder, 22 points, 2 for 9, 22% from the field. Bridges, 3 out of 11, 27.3 from the field. Just horrible. Luka, 12 of 19, 63% in the NBA game. And think about this, 19 shots is not a lot of shots that a lot of these great players take volume shots.
Yeah, the great players.
They take volume shots. He only put up 19 shots, put up 35 on him.
A lot of shots, bro. 19 shots, a lot of shots. What are you talking
about?
No,
you see some of these cats. Remember AI back in the day in his heyday? He put up like 35 shots, hit like 10 of them, but he just keeps shooting. And the team didn't care. They was just like keep feeding AI, put up like 35 shots. I mean, 19 shots is pretty economical.
Yeah, 12 is good.
Yeah, I mean, are you excited about these finals? We got Boston, Miami.
My team's in the and will be in the finals. I'm very excited.
So you still rock with Miami, even though you're a D-Wade guy. So Miami's your team.
I was there with Ron Cycli and Alonzo Mourning.
Okay, all right. So you go back.
That's a lie.
Okay.
But,
I was gonna say.
No. But I remember all of that, so I'm sticking with him, man.
So you're sticking with Miami versus Boston, okay? And then we got the 3 seed Golden State versus Dallas. Dallas has that feel. You remember the what was the year LeBron went to the finals the first time and they played the Spurs? Is that 07 or 08?
07, yeah.
This is giving me the Dallas Mavericks are giving me that 07 Cavs feel. You remember that 07 Cavs team? We had
that team was terrible.
Yeah, they had LeBron. Dragged them to the finals to get swept. But I mean, at least
not dragging anybody to the finals. Dallas is a good team.
Okay, name me 3 other players besides Luka on Dallas' team.
Keyword team. I don't know them names.
Okay, well, then just name my point.
Good team.
Yeah, I can name. You can name 3 people on Golden State right now, easy though.
Yeah, and they're a good team. That's what's gonna take them over the hump.
Who's gonna take who over the hump?
That's what's gonna take Golden State past Dallas.
Yeah, I agree.
They're both good teams. They play very good basketball. They have the role players in place to do what they need to do.
Right.
It's just
I think with Dallas, I think what's going to happen, you're going to see Draymond from Golden State.
Yeah.
You're going to see Draymond on Luka. And Draymond's going to talk junk. Yeah. But see, the problem is, the Suns, they pissed Luka off with their laughing at the press conferences and stuff like that. They pissed him off. Draymond's going to talk junk to Luka, and Luka's not going to really be fazed by that. But Draymond's also going to body up Luka and be like physical, and we'll see kind of how he deals with that.
Yeah, they're both physical players. So.
Physical players for sure. It means back to your Heat. Remember, if you remember, I believe it was the 11 finals. The first year LeBron was in Miami.
Yep.
And they were, when I say they, I mean your boy D-Wade, LeBron. They were clowning Dirk Nowitzki the same way the Suns were clowning Luka, like laughing at him, trying to clown Dirk, trying to punk him. And we all know who won that series. I don't know if that kind of backfired on people. A lot of people don't remember that. Like they tried to punk Dirk. Dirk ain't no punk. He's German. He not like he from Germany. They play. I mean, they tough.
They don't make many punks in German.
And he wasn't like scared of like playing with brothers like that.
No, he wasn't German. He was Russian. My bad.
No, Dirk was from Germany. He got a black wife. Yeah, he wasn't scared of like playing ball with brothers and get intimidated. Luka's not going to get intimidated. Like he played over there where they had like fireworks in the stands. People with fire sticks. I want to say Slovenia. Let me do the research here. Let's see what Google has to say.
I don't know why he reminds me of one of my friends from Albania. But wherever he's from, please tell me how far it is from Albania, because he sounds like my friend from Albania. He looked like my friend from Albania.
He is from, let's see what Wikipedia has. He was born in a country, I'm going to kill it, LJUB, Ljubljana, Slovenia, largest city of Slovenia.
Okay, let's stick with Slovenia because that first word.
Yeah, I killed it. Yeah. But we'll see if Luka can get his LeBron on and drag this team.
How far is that place from Albania?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I gotta go to the map.
You can do it.
It's the map. Slovenia to Albania. So let's do that.
Like 5 miles. Some crazy jump.
696 kilometers. They don't do miles, bro. I'm getting kilometers.
My math.
The best way to travel is to fly. It's about a 2-hour flight, 2.5-hour flight.
2.5-hour flight.
2.5-hour flight. That might help you better. How's that?
That's not far. I knew it. I knew it.
All right. So give me your picks here. Okay, so Golden, how many games?
So each one, I'll give you Golden State in 5.
Golden State in 5.
Luka's gonna get one.
Okay, so Golden State in 5. And how about Miami? How many games take them to beat Boston?
Miami in 6.
Okay, so I give you all right. So I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to give you Boston. I'm going to give you Boston in 6.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you Golden State in 7. I think Luka takes them to the edge. I think Golden State, though, has the veterans and been there before. So I'll give you Golden State in 7. Write it down. And I'll give you Boston in 6. So it's like Boston's defense. And I like
real quick though, Dallas, Luka in a closeout game, you don't think he can take them over the top regardless of who he's going against?
If you get Luka in a closeout game, he will be tough, yes. Yeah. I do think though that you're gonna have Draymond make Luka work. You saw yesterday with the Bucks that you can wear down in a 7-game series. If you got Draymond in your ear for 7 games, leaning on you, talking trash, elbowing you in the ribs when the ref's not looking, I think that can take its toll. We'll see. And obviously for the Celtics series, I just think Jason Tatum is going to be a superstar. He's still very young. I think he's only 24 years old. Yeah. And it feels like he's been in the league forever. I think he's on his way to being a superstar. And I just feel like this is, his year to really kind of go off. Miami's a good team, though. Really well-run organization. Very underrated coach. A coach who's got championship rings, obviously, but you kind of attribute that more to LeBron than you do maybe giving the coach credit. But a very well-run organization, a championship coach. If Miami wins, I wouldn't be surprised. I think just for the sake of this conversation, I'm taking Boston, but I'm looking forward to a good series.
Yeah, man. Can't wait. It's good. It's a good year for basketball, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next? What's next up, big bro?
So I got into an epic Twitter battle today.
Oh, it's about time.
With a bunch of right wingers.
Okay.
But then it's like, all right, do you know who Daryl Brooks is? And before we start this, first of all, I want to say, a horrific shooting yesterday. This is kind of in relation to that.
Okay.
And to the families and anyone affected, certainly Dwayne and I give our condolences. It was a horrible situation. Think about that, dude. You have to make sure every day you leave the house, people hug the people that you love. Make sure you don't leave slights unfinished. You arguing with your wife yesterday or your best friend or your significant other. If it's a new day, dude, like fix that. Like, I love you. Let's move forward because God, like you can go to the grocery store looking to get some cold cuts for your kids for the week. And then next thing you know, some maniac comes in and takes you out and you're gone forever. It's not promised. It's very sad. And so definitely hug your loved ones, love on them, let people know how you feel about them. And so we know about this shooting yesterday. And I asked you who Daryl Brooks was and you said you didn't know.
Right.
And I'm not holding that against you, but I think that sort of, it's going to go a little bit left. I'm going to attack this from a different way. And it's going to speak more about media narrative and sort of like how people's feelings are manipulated.
Okay.
So I asked you who Daryl Brooks was. You say you didn't know. Daryl Brooks was a black man, because all the right wing hit me with today, but I didn't really have any really retort to it. So people are going to probably in the comments like, don't fall for those right wing talking points, and that might be true. Daryl Brooks on Christmas Eve took his car and ran down last November, fatally striking 6 and injured dozens of people, white people, during a Christmas parade.
Right. So I didn't know. Man. Yeah, I remember the scene on the news. They had video of it, right?
They did have video. I feel like that was covered a lot because now.
I remember the video.
Yeah, there was a video, right? It was covered because everyone at the right wing talking points is, well, stop falling for it. And even the conservative black people, like, don't let the Democrats get you all in your feelings. Like, wait, the guy had, and I'm going to say it, I don't usually say it, but the guy had nigger on his gun. He also had, here's your reparations on the gun as he's mowing down black people.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Injured people, went back, shot people in the face to finish them off. Ended up 18-year-old kid, dude. 18 years old. And it kicks you in the gut because remember when we were younger? I used to hang out with a lot of white kids. You probably have a lot of white friends. And I used to think when I was in my 20s, like all my friends, anybody that was in my life was really cool. And you knew about racism, you knew about Jim Crow, you knew about lynchings. And I want to be careful I say because I don't want to broad brush, right? But I remember I used to have this feeling like, racism is going to die out because look at all these cool white people that we know, all these younger progressive people, they're going to let that stuff go behind. But then we got an 18-year-old kid who gets radicalized online. It's not, the old racists aren't just dying off. There's like a fresh supply of kids, 18-year-old with a lot of time on their hands that get radicalized online. And like, what makes a kid get radicalized like that so fast? Like, why is nobody really asking like that question? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What would make an 18-year-old kid feel like he needs to kill other people, feel like he's being replaced? Like, do you have any insight? Like, why do you think that would happen?
I can only assume that, the rise of social media, the rise of these social media apps, along with people at an age where they're going through a lot of things, and their minds are so impressionable that, you catch the right person at the right time or the wrong time in their life. And boom, you have a willing soldier to fight for your war, so to speak. Mm-hmm.
It's very sad. Have you watched much of the coverage? Have you been kind of engaging with a lot of people on this, or not really?
So I did. I knew that was one of our talking points. So I said, let me.
It's a big freaking deal, Dwayne. It's a huge story.
No, I don't watch the news because, like you said, it's a very tragic issue.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out to all the families and why that's affected. But in general, I really try to live in my circle and make sure that my circle is filled with as much positivity as it can.
Yeah.
So not that I want to be that ostrich that buries its head into the ground and acts like nothing is going on around me, bombs blowing up around me, but everything is fine in the sand. But, I know in my mind, I know that the news is something that's going to affect my energy, and I try to stay away. So with that being said, I did my research because that was one of our talking points. And if I were to believe everything that the news said, is very, very, the whole thing is very tragic and very sad. The way that, this young man had the things on his gun and how he went back over and made sure that the job was done. I mean, everything was just real bad about that thing.
Are you confident in society? What do you think the type of society we're going to have for our kids? Has it always been this way, but social media and the news hype it more? Or is this new anger and that we're seeing? Do you think? What sort of world are we living in our kids?
Yeah, I would say social media and the news are not making anything better for us.
Yeah.
I think that it's our jobs as parents, because for me, I think we have a circle of influence, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to focus on that more than anything. Like, we can say, I'll send $10 here to help wildlife in Africa, or I'll send $5 here to help out childhood hunger somewhere else. But I think if our focus is mainly on the smaller circle, and then everybody is focused on their smaller circle, then those smaller circles will eventually become larger circles. And then I think we can see change that way.
You're an idealist. We'll see. Yeah.
So, I'm basically just focused on making sure my family's straight, making sure after that, making sure my community is straight. And then after that,
Dwayne, I get you, but the world's going to come get you. So let me ask you this. You're in Connecticut, so it's probably not a thing for you.
Yeah.
Are you a gun owner?
No.
Would you become a gun owner?
Not now. Not now. I had a moment in my life where, I went through the course.
Yeah.
All I had to do was go to the police station. All I had to do was go to the police station. But now in my life, I care about life too much for me to even try to think about taking anybody else's life. So I would not ever own a gun.
You would not ever own a gun?
Never own a gun.
Wait, say that again?
I would never own
a gun.
Okay. No. But if you want to invite me to the shooting range, I'll borrow one of yours.
I only have one.
Get some targets.
I only have one. And in Georgia, they recently passed a law. You don't even have to get it registered. You can constitutionally carry.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So my daughter, she's 14. You try to like shelter the kids as much as possible.
Okay.
Or Inez and I tried or did. But the 14-year-old now, it's just too much going on. And so we had a conversation with her, yesterday. And then these are hard conversations to have when you're a dad, but also when you're a black dad. Like, yes, baby. There are going to be some people in this life that are assholes, and you're always going to deal with assholes. And then every once in a while, you are going to deal with that special asshole that is not only angry at the world and is cranky, but is not going to like you, even though you're the most wonderful person in the world. They're not going to like you because they just look at you and not like you. And that's a hard thing to kind of have to like start explaining. And so, especially for my daughter, my son is pretty oblivious. He's 12, right? But like, my daughter's asking these questions, and like, are we? Is anything going to happen to us? I'm like, no, baby.
Oh wow.
This isn't. I don't think something like this could happen. But you got to have those conversations, and like, I don't know what I would do if I was in that situation. But if I'm there with my 14-year-old daughter and I have my gun, I probably will put myself in between her, and my gun will be raised, and I might get killed. That security guard, there was a security guard that actually shot this gunner yesterday.
Yeah. I saw his
but because he had the tactical gear on, it didn't stop him. So maybe that goes to your point. Like, maybe if I'm running around with, my 9mm and somebody starts shooting off, do I still have that fight or flight? Whereas if I got a gun on me, maybe instead of flight, it's fight. But you try to fight, but the guy's tactical gear up, you get a couple shots off, and then he kind of mows you down with a semi-automatic weapon with the tactical gear.
Right.
It's very scary. It's very sad. The reason why I bring up the sort of the Twitter fight, it made me kind of come to a realization today, and it's a sad one. A lot of times you hear black people say they don't see us, like they don't see our humanity. Well, who's the they? Who's the they? The they, I think a lot of people say is the more dominant society, like everybody else in society. They don't see us. They don't see our humanity. I think a lot of times people say that. I think they're talking about like white people, like the dominant society. And on Twitter, I'm going back at people, and I don't know that we really need to. I think we need to change that narrative, because it was all, well, what about Chicago? What about black on black crime? And what about black people, killing Asian people in New York? And what about black people killing white people? It wasn't. And what about this guy who mowed down these people on Christmas? All horrible stuff. Mayor Lightfoot had to shut down the Chicago. Like, yeah, Chicago's pretty bad. She had to shut down the park and can't let the young kids play at night after night because they're killing. Like, there was shootings. Yes, horrible stuff. And yes, that guy who mowed down those white people in Minnesota, like in Waukesha, like that was horrible. And like the guy's gonna go under the jail. But like, when they don't see us, they're never gonna. I don't like. Focus on when you say something like they don't see us, like think about who the they is. I think this goes to your point too, Dwayne. Like, maybe rethink about who the they is that you want them to be. Maybe the they is your pastor. Maybe the they is your best friend. Maybe the they is like your family. Maybe make that circle smaller, to your point where you were saying is like who you seek validation from or who you want validation from. Might go a long way for like your mental health, because the battles I had to on Twitter, if you follow my Twitter, you'll see, like, I was just getting, what about Chicago? What about this guy mowing down people? What about black and black crime? It's like, wait, can we just stop for like all those things you're saying is true? But like right now we're talking about basically a lynching. It's basically a lynching, and a country that has a history of lynching. So I think it might just have a little context. But like, we're banning CRT, right? So now these kids don't want to listen. So now they have no context, right? Because everyone wants to ban CRT, which is critical race theory, which wasn't in schools. But now they're just saying they don't want to hear about American history. They don't want kids to feel bad. Well, now we don't feel bad. So now we don't all know the history of the country. And so we're just like, well, what about black on black crime and you niggas killing each other? And I hate to say anything, but like, that's kind of basically the vibe I'm getting. It's like, why y'all mad at what you want from us when y'all kill, like, and there's some, I don't know. It was an emotional Twitter battle. It was pretty interesting and eye-opening, I should say, about the reaction to a lynching, but you couldn't really get like basic sort of like, and listen, again, this was Twitter. Twitter's not real life, and Twitter is a cesspool. So I probably was wrong even thinking I can go to Twitter for sympathy. I should have known what I was getting myself into, and I sort of do. I'm fine. But it definitely lived up to it. So it was basically a cesspool, and I was fighting back and forth all day today, which is pretty interesting. I didn't back down, but it was pretty interesting.
So what did you put on Twitter to get like all of this response, or were you responding to something?
I was responding to something. I was basically just trying to make the point, because the point was being made that, and this is the point that and actually it was funny is this. The media itself, this is the point that was being made, that the media itself will play this up in a way to get people emotional and frothed up, to make people scared of white people and all, and make people look bad. That's basically the basic thing. And how they backed it up with, they said that the Wisconsin guy who killed those white folks, their point was that wasn't also played up to say that black men are inherently dangerous, that black men kill, white people. So why are you making it that white men are inherently dangerous and that they go out and like just kill black people indiscriminately? They were trying to do that whataboutism. I just commented on the fact of the history of just kind of sort of like the interesting history of lynching that we have. And so while that issue in Waukesha, and yes, there's black and black crime, but that's not really affecting white people, honestly. And it's not really, it's not really affecting civilians in a way for the most part. It's more like those guys kind of know each other and they shoot at ops, the drill music. That's my thought anyway. But anyway, that was the sort of the genesis of it. And it's kind of when it devolved from there.
Yeah.
But a lot of this what about stuff.
Yeah. I mean, in general, for me, I feel like the news and the media, not just this situation, but the news and the media in general, like to exacerbate people's emotions and push to divide groups, whether it's black, white, Republican, Democrat, Muslim, Christian.
There is a division.
That's why I always say I don't watch the news, but if you are going to watch the news, make sure you watch different sources of your information.
Yes.
That way, everything's not just pushing you one way, and you get one-sided information.
All right. So I want to ask you one last question. I want you to kind of break this down for me before we end for the night.
Oh, okay.
Ice-T on Twitter had the best quote ever.
Okay.
It's easy to make the streets think that you're a gangster. It's hard to convince the feds you're not. This is in regards to the Young Gunna, Young Thug indictment. I also saw a note where I think the prosecutor is going to use their lyrics, their art, against them in their trial. What do you think about that?
Have you ever seen this comedy show, Key and Peele?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the skit where they're like going through like a skit where there's a police officer and there's a rapper and he's using like the lyrics to like figure out who did the murder, and the rapper's like, oh, I didn't do it. And then he plays a little bit of it and he said, you saw me on this and I shot him. And then he said, I made that up. And he said, that's exactly what happened. And then he'll play another part and it's like exactly what happened. Did you ever see that skit?
I didn't watch it that much. I watched the football ones and they had all the crazy names. I did see that skit, but continue. I'm sure people that watch it have seen it.
Bro, if I can do it, I'm going to put the skit in here. It's classic. And it's classic because it's so real. A lot of people in rap music are measured by how real they are, right?
Right.
And if you're not real, then you don't need to be making music like this. Well, now it comes a position where you're hoping that this person's not as real as he say he is, right? So that's why using the lyrics, I think, is genius, because, and I'm gonna get killed in the comments.
You're gonna get killed. Yes, I'm gonna kill you. And actually, I hate rap music today, and I'm gonna kill you. But go ahead.
It's all good. But yeah. If you're gonna go by that notion, um, that these are real rappers, they're real rappers, then that means they're speaking truth in their lyrics. So why not use these lyrics to see how far they really went?
But that's why is rap music the only genre? I
Oh,
hate
well,
that.
that's sad, right? That's
So
actually stupid, and I believe that's by design. But go ahead.
all right, so James Wan is an American director. He directed a couple of popular movies called The Conjurings and stuff like that about demons,
Yeah, The Conjuring.
Annabelle, demons, demonic possession, real evil stuff, right?
Haunting in Connecticut. Have you done that one?
I don't know if he did that one, but yeah. What if the Catholic Church said, you're promoting demonic stuff, we are going to censor you, and if we ever catch you in the Vatican, we're going to arrest you for your art, for your expression. Would you feel the same way that yeah, I mean the Vatican should arrest him because it's demonic and he shouldn't be doing that?
No, I wouldn't feel the same way.
So, and listen, I'm no big God. You got me like defending the really crappy rap music.
Defend it.
I'm not a big defender of it, but I am a defender of freedom.
Yeah.
And I'm a defender of grown people putting out a product.
Yep.
And grown adults deciding if they want to participate in that. I definitely don't want to take anybody's freedom away. But it's an art. I think a lot of it is exaggeration. I do think some of the rappers do the kids a disservice. When you think about like a Rick Ross, for example, or like you ever hear him talk about like his business plan or like how he kind of, flips like a lot of these well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but like, I think some of these rappers, when they go into this rap thing, have a plan. Like a lot of them, like, a lot of them have like a plan that they're going to put there, like a P&L, profit and loss statement, like a plan, like a real marketing plan, like a lot that goes into like their persona, like how they're going to make money, like where are they going to charge? I mean, that's a real plan that goes into it. And I wish that they would maybe share a lot more to these kids what goes into that aspect too. Like, this is math, this is economics, like there's a lot of, so, I'm not for them using the lyrics per se. I mean,
so I just want to get this clear. When you
it's
say
their art,
lyrics,
and they're free to express themselves in their art, and then they use their art against them. I think it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, but I'm saying, are they saying they're going to listen to a song, and if they say in the song, I killed this person, then that is going to be used against them? Like you said in the song, you killed this person. Like something like that?
So let me, yeah, I saw that the judge was going to use some, I think, well, they're in a RICO, right? So they talk about drugs,
yeah,
money,
right,
killing.
So would you be against them using these lyrics? And let's say somebody says, I killed this person and buried them somewhere, whatever, just hypothetical shit. And then they go to this place, search, and find a body in that spot.
Is it gonna be that?
That's all I'm saying. Like,
if it was that literal, sure, use it against because you're just an idiot. But I don't know that there is it like that though. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a fan of these guys. If they were, there's a real issue with black men, throw them in jail, throw away the key. And I'm real sensitive to that. That's why I'm a big legalized drugs guy. Not because I'm a drug user, and not that because I'm big on drugs and I don't want my kids using drugs, but because there's a lot of people in jail for weed that didn't hurt anybody, was smoking a little weed, and maybe they couldn't afford their bail and are still sitting at Rikers or sitting at some jail for a small amount of marijuana.
Right.
So I'm a legalized drugs guy strictly for the fact that you're getting people in the system for really on victimless crimes. Okay. I'm not though gonna feel sorry for these guys if they're really killing other black people, selling drugs, doing all other stuff, and like hurting other people. I'm not gonna be as like caring or whatever for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big police guy myself, so
Should we legalize drugs? What do you think? President Dwayne,
no.
sir, they want us to legalize drugs. What do you say about that? President
Legalize
Dwayne,
drugs. No.
you say no?
No, there's no drugs that I believe in unless they're natural, and if they are natural, you shouldn't be burning them. So if you're growing marijuana, making tea out of it, then okay. So if you're going to call that a drug, you might as well call all herbs, which 99% of pharmaceuticals are based upon. You might as well call everything drugs. So if that's what you're calling drugs, yeah, legalize drugs.
I'm not for criminalizing addicts. You know, and if weed was more, I have this theory that if weed was more accepted, look, you can't.
Not more accepted yet? How more accepted do you want weed?
I think weed's accepted, but not in every state, right? Like, so when I was in Colorado,
right,
I walk into the dispensary and they got candy colored weed all over the place. And again, I'm not a weed smoker, but it was cool. And I was talking with the security guard who's packing. They can't put their cash in the bank, by the way. So they have to have. This is a fact from the dispensary that I learned when I was in Colorado a few years back.
yeah.
The bank still can't take weed money. So everything they do is cash. They can't have any banks touch their money. It's weird. So they have armed guys because it's all cash business.
Wow.
You're selling weed all cash in the open. I mean, obviously. So I was talking with the armed guy anyway, but it's like candy colored weed, all different sort of shapes and sizes all over the place. It's like Candyland for a weed smoker.
Right.
I'm not anti-marijuana. I'm not a marijuana smoker myself. It doesn't agree with me. I'm more of a give me a nice bomb ass 15-year whiskey and a cigar. You want to smoke weed? Perfect. We both straight for the night. That's just me. But I do feel like I was saying earlier, just the criminalization part. And I'm not one of these people that believe that if you smoke weed, you're also going to then go to crack. And if from crack, you're going to go to like heroin, like the gateway argument. I don't know if I really believe that. I've known people that smoke weed for years, to calm their nerves, to live to function in society, and never once did they ever think about doing crack or cocaine or something like that.
Right.
So I don't believe that. That's why. So fine. Maybe you say you're not legalize drugs. Maybe you don't want to legalize fentanyl and all that other crap. But I would definitely legalize weed for sure, 100%. Only for the criminal aspect of it, and then I will let some of the brothers open up dispensaries, and then profit off of the stuff legally.
Yeah,
come out of the shadows.
Right. That would be different. When like the prohibition, when they said no selling of alcohol, and then people doing bootlegging and all of this stuff. So they was like, you know what? Because of the criminalization of it, it's going to be better for everybody if we just make it all legal.
Yeah.
We'll just put some rules in place. You can't sell it after a certain time. You can't, there were certain rules around it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this is different. Like, marijuana is a plant.
Yeah, you're all about that natural. Yeah.
Marijuana is a plant. So it's crazy how they call certain things drugs, right? 99% of pharmaceuticals are based on herbs. They just found a way to make money off of it. Now, if you grow it, these companies can't make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as legalizing man-made synthetic drugs that have been altered, and they're going to have you doing crazy stuff and jumping out windows and killing yourself.
So you're not a crack fentanyl guy, basically.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about drugs like herbs, then definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so weed you're good with.
Yeah.
Fentanyl, not so much.
Not so much, yeah.
Okay, I'm with you on that. There's a huge, and we don't have time. We're running on time here.
We only got 6 minutes left, John.
There's a huge drug overdose crisis in this country. It's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have a lot of problems.
Right.
They turn to alcohol sales through the roof during COVID. And they got a few of my dollars during that time too. I'm not gonna play high and mighty here.
Mm.
But a lot of people take it to like cope too, right? It's very sad. All right. Any closing thoughts for us, Dwayne, for the audience? Your voice made it through. Appreciate you slugging through.
Yeah, I'm just about to take some honey.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I'm not about to take no honey. But yeah, I just want to say to everybody that I was talking to John earlier about, doing a podcast and entertaining you guys, talking about trending topics and all of this other stuff. And I was feeling a little bit empty because a lot of things in this world are, enjoyable, and we enjoy doing them, enjoy partaking in them, but they do nothing to improve us. I like to sit down and watch basketball, but at the end of the game, that's 2.5 hours pretty much wasted. I enjoyed my time. It was great, but it's 2.5 hours wasted. I like to play video games, but at the end of the video games, I'm no better than when I started. And I just I'll just feel better if after this hour that you spent with us, that you leave us knowing something that, if you choose to use it, can improve your life. Okay? So my little piece of information today is about something called allulose. Have you ever heard anything called allulose, John?
No, sir.
Allulose is a sugar derived from dates. And I just ran out of a bag of my allulose. I wish I had a bag to show you. But it's basically the sugar that I use. And it doesn't affect your blood sugar. So it's great for diabetics to use. In baking, if you want to put some on your cereal, there's certain studies that prove that if you use allulose with regular sugar, it even helps to lower your blood sugar levels. So my little piece of advice for today, my little piece of value that I want to add to this podcast is, if you use regular pure cane sugar to do anything with, replace it with allulose. And don't take what I'm saying as medical advice or anything. Do your own research about allulose, Allulose. And just use that instead of regular sugar, and hopefully that'll make you feel better and won't raise your blood sugar levels. And that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. That's my piece of value for today. You have anything else to say before we end this whole beautiful podcast, brother?
Yeah. Pick up some allulose. I'm actually Googling it right now. It looks pretty good. And hug your loved ones. Tell the people that are close to you love them, or how you feel about them. Squash any petty beefs that maybe you might have, especially with family members. Doesn't matter in the end. Tomorrow's not promised, folks. Right. Squash any petty beefs. It actually helps your heart, helps your stress. Get that stuff. Let those burdens go. Enjoy each other. Tell people you care about them. It's always good seeing you, Dwayne.
You already know.
Hopefully we'll get this out for the masses, and they tell everybody around them that they love them, and they put allulose in their coffee. And I think they would have gotten a lot out of this week.
And they'll be better for it.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
All right, brother. Good talking to you as always, man. Love you. Tell the family I love them, and I'll be talking to you next week.
Yes, but one thing that we never do, that we're going to start doing in the next podcast, is we're going to start saying the name of the podcast, because I was thinking about putting this in all audio format. And, if it's all audio format, I want them to be able to hear what they're listening to, right?
Yes, sir.
So
drop it.
Chess Moves Podcast.
Yes, sir.
With John and Loblack. You know what I'm saying? Signing off once again. Great episode.
Why is it Loblack and John? Why is it not Loblack and Richardson? John is easier.
It is. I mean, yeah, John is. I mean, it's whatever you want, John. I go by Loblack everywhere I go. They be like, "What's your name?" I say Dwayne. Next thing you know, they're calling me Loblack. Hey, it is what it is. So
we'll go with Loblack and John. Richardson, Loblack and Richardson. That makes my tongue hurt. Loblack and John.
John and Loblack.
Yeah, John and Loblack. Chess Moves. Appreciate y'all. Have a great week.
Yes, man. Peace.
All right. Peace, man. it.